Hi again. Today I will read a text by Estelle Gagliardi published in Trans Magazin issue 47.
Fold me, bend me, pass me over by Estelle Gagliardi. Architecture loves its weight. It dreams of gravity. It wants to pin you down under slabs of theory, centuries of concrete, and thick hardback books you need both hands and a clean conscience to open. It worships performance. It fetishizes authority. It is addicted to the monograph. That smug, bound beast of a format with its matte dust jacket and its table of contents like a man explaining something you already know. These books do not introduce, they declare. But I do not want to be declared. I want to be touched. Give me the soft ones, the cheap ones, the dirty, lovely little thing that fold, that scream, that slip into pockets, bedsheets, bathtubs. Give me the Zine, the pamphlet, the one that was not supposed to survive the semester. I do not want hardcovers. I want paperbacks with cracks in their spines. Zines are not just formats. They are mistakes made on purpose, drunken text messages to the future, secrets that could not wait to be told. They come stapled at odd angles, printed at midnight, written in fonts too loud for authority to hear without winking. They do not whisper. They moan, tear, contradict themselves, fold up and unfold you with them. Not here to last, they're here to interrupt. And is not that the whole point? That some knowledge wants to be messy? That sometimes the best thinking comes after the deadline, in the margins, in a bar, half-said, half-sided, passed from hand to hand like gossip? It is not new. In the 1910s and 1920s, Zurich and Paris were already coming undone, gloriously, perversely undone. Dada was born as a primal scream in the middle of the war, a scream that immediately printed itself into magazines. Cabaret Voltaire, Dada, Dishmare, 391, not polished journals, but tactical explosions of nonsense, rage, eros, and critique. The magazine was not a documentation of art. It was the art, a chaotic, stitched-together, rule-breaking entity that blurred authorship, sabotaged category, and multiplied itself faster than anyone could regulate. Marcel Duchamp and Man Ray pushed it even farther in New York Dada, a magazine as a ready-made. They grabbed the commodity form of the glossy woman's magazine, advertising culture, perfume labels, and corrupted them from the inside out. They cross-dressed their pages, camped it up, smuggled eroticism into the sterile economy of print. Far from being a venue, the magazine was a slinky little monster, shameless and uncontained, slipping through high culture's fingers before anyone could pin it down. Then, an unhinged Paris, a flurry of manifestos which came with their own magazines, L'Esprit Nouveau, Transition, Architecture Vivante. Publications did not wait for historians to catch up. Shelf life was not their aim. Dancing between disciplines, they were printed between cafes and wars, between reason and delirium, typography, met prophecy. Architecture turned into poetry, pages turned fast. These little magazines were not auxiliary. They were central, pulsing with possibility, full of names and forms that still have not made it into the hard-bound version of the story. Fast forward to 1966, when Rainer Banham could already feel the vibrations under his feet, vam, zoom, zing, as he wrote in a kind of zoom wave, ripping through architecture's corseted body. Students, rebels, sci-fi dreamers zipped plastic binders together, stitched worlds out of toner and hope, hurling gravity-defying fantasies against the heavy, slow-motion death of proper architecture. Plastic futures, collapsible cities, inflatable bedrooms. The dream was to build weirder, faster, hotter. Publishing became foreplay, a protest in tie leather pants. Yet, what Banham cited here was mostly Archigram, not just a group, nor just a magazine, a kink, a favor, a stapled together wet dream that screamed, "You want gravity? Suck it. Blink and you would miss them," which was the point. And then there was Utopie, founded in Paris in 1966 by architects and sociologists who were not interested in playing nice. Their magazine served as a Molotov cocktail with editorial notes. It flared fast, especially in its first 3 issues. 1968 was their moment, and they took it. Utopie did not just comment on May 1968, it became part of it. Layouts were chaotic, no grids, just visual anarchy threaded through with sharp critique. Late 1960s to early 1970s, golden age for political publishing. Paper was cheap, anger was high, and institutions were conveniently asleep. The result? A boom in urgent, uninvited publications that often got killed off by the very system they critiqued. An example? Arquitectos de México. It ran from 1956 to 1969 until issue 33 blew the whole thing up, politically and literally. That issue not only stood in solidarity with France's 1968 student protests, its editorial dared to openly speak about the Tlatelolco massacre in October 2, 1968. The state responded by saying, "You are done." Editors were arrested. Funding vanished. Arquitectos de México folded under the weight of its own integrity. Meanwhile, in Chile, a different model emerged. A group of professors resigned from the University of Chile in 1963 and started a publication in protest, AUCA. No institution, no permission, just peer founding and pure intent. It kept going until 1986. These magazines are the visible part of the pattern, yet most did not leave a trace. One-offs, hand-stapled ghosts. No archive, no ISBN, just a brief moment when someone somewhere thought, "This has to be printed, now. This is what matters." Not the object, the instinct. Publications that were meant to shout, that existed briefly, beautifully, and out of necessity and not built to last. Most were gone before their glue dried, dissolved by economic shrinkage and political shifts. Still, some fought the fade. Their real strength was urgency. Zines, mags, pamphlets do not go for neutrality, allergic to apoliticism. Some lasted 1 issue, 1 scream, 1 night stand with revolution. Sure, we can dust off the hard and heavy monographs, but maybe the question is, what is publishing got to say now? Because, let's be real, the world is falling apart in real time. We do not need another handsome monograph tracing someone else's perfect line work. We need the foldable, pass-it-on kind of publishing, fast, flexible, infuriated. The kind that moves like rumor, gossip, wildfire. The soft kind that breathes, gets smuggled in backpacks and screenshots on Telegram. Publishing now is not about performance, it's about presence. It is about showing up. Take Errant Journal, as one of the many examples, a living proof that publishing can still punch, soft to the touch, sharp in its politics. Born in the autumn-winter 2020, asking, "Where are we?" a question that still stings. It did not wait for permission. Entering the world mid-collapse, it came uninvited, and yet absolutely necessary. Each issue since has refused the neutral tone, the Western gaze, the academic dead weight, issue 7. Embodying resistance, lands like a brick through a glass storefront, a searing, clear-eyed response to the ongoing genocide in Palestine. What powered this thing? Not corporate backing or loud ads, but a fragile ecosystem of subscriptions, sponsors, and community-run events. A persistent softness, not as weakness, but as adaptability. Through an open access feature on their site, it quietly refuses paywalls, signaling for the need for a radical redistribution. Errant is so new, so out of bounds, that in my nearest library, issue 7 sits on a shelf without a name, uncatalogued, almost contraband, as if even the system does not know where to file it. Good, let it float, let it haunt. Soft formats circulate like rumors, not caring if you save them. Here I am, cheap and brilliant and printed in a rush. They just want to leave a mark without pretending to be neutral or complete. They flirt with error. They fuck with form and are alive in every possible way. Ultimately, they complete the hardbound monograph. Poor thing, heavy, composed, expensive, always announcing something. You know the type. It shows up late to the party with a bibliography no one asks for and says, "I am history." It never spills anything, never contradicts itself nor asks, "Was I too much?" It was. It always is. Monographs are respectable, sure, but you do not want to wake up next to one. They take up too much room and do not listen, while quietly whispering, "I forgot about that, and that, and that." In a realm where even hardcovers are not immortal and permanence is overrated, urgency is all the more attractive. On this matter, the soft formatted does not mean weak, but rather everything hard is not, making mistakes and publishing them anyway. Soft is folded, bent, passed around. It leaves creases, does not announce itself, arriving uninvited and staying anyway. It says, "I might be wrong, but at least I'm happening." Soft formats are not the footnote. They are the affair and the sin, the thing you think about later, while the monograph is still explaining itself. And maybe, just maybe, they are a little sexier than they should be.